This NHL Playoff series is absolute chaos. The Leafs and the Lightning just continue to be one of the most exciting first round series this year. Check out this insane hit by Justin Holl from Game 5. The hit was so dangerous that Kucherov tells the ref, "My eye." The NHL Player Safety Department should definitely suspend him, at least for the rest of the series. You know, just for precautionary measures. Massive hits were exchanged in that same game where the Leafs had a chance to close out the Lightning. Morgan Rielly scores a wrist shot on the glove side to bring the Leafs up and give them momentum. This is Rielly executing a seeing eye shot yet again for Toronto, but then just seconds later, Cirelli scores for Tampa. If you're the Leafs in a series clinching game, you have to ask, how did that go in? Well, it starts with a terrible hit attempt by Justin Holl at the red line, which he completely misses and simultaneously takes himself out of the play. A one-timer point shot by Tampa Bay and bad defense in front of the net by Alex Kerfoot, but really, this is a misassignment by Justin Holl. Game 5 continued to get chippy as both teams laid hits and scored goals, and it's only the first period. While the Leafs were up 3-1 headed into Game 5, both the games they stole in Tampa could have went either way. Statistically, the Lightning have held the lead in scoring 50% of the time, which is not a good sign for Leaf fans. That means Toronto has played with the lead for a quarter of the time, which also says they haven't played with the lead very well. And another thing that just seems like a no-brainer is the fact that Justin Holl should be benched. He's been on the ice for 73% of Tampa's goals in this series, and the Leafs have guys like Liljegren and even Gustafsson as healthy scratches. On this hit I mentioned earlier, Kucherov wanted a 5-minute power play, which could have costed the Leafs while they were tied. What a joke. These are the type of plays that end up costing you in the series. Headed into the second, and Leaf fans were happy until Tampa took the lead. This simply cannot go in if you want to win in the playoffs. Samsonov lets in a soft goal that ultimately cost the Leafs the game in the worst way possible. Samsonov has been playing well this series, but that one goal was one too many because Austin Matthews would score to make it 3-2, but it wasn't enough to complete the comeback. Speaking of comebacks, there's no reason this team should be trying to make miraculous comebacks every game in this series. There needs to be some urgency and a full 60 minutes played in order to be successful. Playing the last 20 minutes is clearly not a recipe for success. With that being said, who will win Game 6? I've mentioned the necessity of winning this game in a previous Leafs video. Now having lost Game 5, they have 2 more chances to take out Tampa, and there are 0 excuses this time around. Leafs fans will tell you they've seen this story a million times. The Leafs have opportunities to close out, and then they just don't. Now, the Leafs are 0-9 in series clinching games since 2004. If they don't win Game 6 tonight, there is no reason to believe that this team will win in 7. History has shown statistically they play their worst game in Game 7. And while the Leafs did give up a 3-1 series lead to the Canadiens in the past, this time things should be different. Their team is immensely better than it was before, and all their best guys are healthy. If I'm Toronto, Game 6 is do or die. This is where they need to compete and execute on the highest level. If Tampa Bay goes to Game 7, they will most definitely close out because you can bet Vasilevsky will stand on his head if you give him the confidence. To further this point, the Lightning know how to close out series and hold a lead, which makes them dangerous when you give them life. And so momentum is a huge factor, as we've seen now with the Panthers and Bruins series. Boston has had their best season in franchise history and had an excellent chance to close out Florida in Game 5, but lo and behold, they don't seize the opportunity, and now Florida has life and have successfully forced a Game 7 to where it's anyone's game. Think about it. At one point, everyone was convinced that the Panthers were out of this series, but look at where we are now. For the Leafs, under no circumstances can they let that be the case for this Lightning team. The time is now, and they need to take advantage of that. But let me know who you're rooting for in Game 6 down below, and tell me something. Do you have confidence that the Leafs will take this series if it goes to Game 7? Or is this Tampa Bay team too dangerous at that point? And if you have been following this series, are the fans of Toronto justified for having higher standards for Justin Holl? He's had ample chances to prove himself on this team, and yet every single time he finds a way to cough up the puck or turn it over. Where is this series headed in your eyes? Are the Maple Leafs a different team, or will their city have to live with another year of failure? Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more hockey content. It's Cappy, and I'm out.